Hola amigos, Senor Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Buenos dias. I'm still in Mexico here. It's a gorgeous day outside, but it is windy. So I'm going to try to get out of the wind a little bit so the wind doesn't get picked up on the mic throughout the entire video here. And I'm going to change my filming location today. I've managed to find a place without a whole lot of wind here. Hopefully this holds up. The wind's been changing direction quite a bit, and I'm worried there might be a storm coming in, but the sky's blue, so who knows here. Anyways, first on the docket, we're talking about the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, we talked about the Nintendo Switch 2 yesterday with the leaked Joy-Con, the apparent leaked Joy-Con. Don't know if that rumor is true still, but at the same time here, there's even more rumors now about the Switch 2. It appears that there are some manufacturers already manufacturing accessories for the Switch 2. If you are curious and wanted to see more about this stuff, like everything I talk about, link is in the description below right at the bottom. Anyways, here taking a look at this stuff, it appears that there is a case as well as an 8-inch screen protector. And if those are true, then it kind of corroborates the initial Switch 2 leaked images we saw a while back with the 8-inch screen, magnetic detachable Joy-Cons, and well, interestingly here too, the image also references the very similar Joy-Con we saw yesterday. Unfortunately, I can't tell you if these rumors are true. I don't know if any of this stuff is real or fake. I'm leaning towards fake true. And maybe there's some truth to this stuff, but at the same time here, who knows? Where there's smoke, there's fire. It seems like all of this stuff is depending on those initial leaked images that we saw a few months back, and I'm wondering if people are just playing off that for some more popularity, people hoping to get some initial sales off of something that's fake. Who knows here? We'll have to wait and see. We're going to hear about the Switch 2 probably in a few months now, so might as well just be patient. Now, on a quick side note here, if that wasn't clear enough for you, I don't recommend picking up Switch 2 stuff yet. If you're interested in picking up a Switch 2, that's fine, but I wouldn't recommend picking up accessories for it for a console that hasn't been officially announced nor revealed yet. I think that would be very foolish, and you might be throwing your money away. And speaking about things that haven't been revealed, next up we're talking about something that was just revealed, and we're talking about Intel. It appears that Intel is re-entering the GPU market. Now, some people may hear the words Intel and GPU together and immediately discard the idea based on Intel's previous track record. And I really wouldn't blame you on that one, but these may be game-changing provided they get the support they need from Intel. Anyways, here Intel revealed two GPUs called Battlemage GPUs, the B580 and the B570. And the most interesting thing here is the pricing of these. So for the B580, it's got 12 gigs of DDR6 RAM, 192-bit memory bus. The GPU will boost up to 2.67 gigahertz. It's only 190 watts, and it's priced at only $249, which is arguably pretty cheap for a GPU nowadays. Now, if $249 seems a little bit too expensive, they do even have a cheaper model here, the B570. So the B570 has 10 gigs of DDR6 instead of 12, a 160-bit memory bus instead of 192. It's up to 2.6 gigahertz as opposed to 2.67, and it's 150 watts as opposed to 190 here, and it's priced at $219 as opposed to $249. Now, on top of that, Intel has also announced XeSS2. XeSS2 will feature super resolution, frame generation, and low latency, and there are games that will support it. So as for the games that will support it, we've got Assassin's Creed Shadows, Dying Light 2, F1 2024, and RoboCop Rogue City, and I'm assuming more will join that list. And as for release date on these things, Intel has said the B580 will be released on December 13th, and that's the higher tier. The B570 will be released on January 16th. Let me know your thoughts about these two GPUs as well as XeSS2 in the comments below. I think Intel may have a winner on their hands provided they provide a lot of driver support. And if you're wondering about Linux compatibility, I would assume you're going to need a really new kernel right now, which I don't think exists for support of these GPUs. We'll have to wait and see here, but you will have to be running a very up-to-date kernel in my opinion. Next up, we're talking about PlayStation 2 emulation on Windows, Mac, Linux, Android, iOS, and in your browser with Play. And Play just keeps chugging along here and improving in compatibility. Now, at the time of filming, Play version 0.68 is the latest update here, and compatibility continues to keep improving. For example, Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2 and Time Splitters are now playable. To keep up to date with Play, you can pay attention to their Discord. You can take a look at the compatibility tracker online on their GitHub. Play is 100% free, it's open source. And there's also a very interesting Patreon page from Literalmente Game. I'll drop a link in the description below. And this person puts out a progress update every few months or so with a lot of different games they test out, and it appears they do a lot of testing, so go on ahead and check that out too. But moving on, and next up we're talking about XDefiant, and a lot of people saw this one coming, but now it's official. Ubisoft has confirmed it's ending support for XDefiant, even though earlier on they confirmed that they weren't ending support for it. Well, now it's official. They're no longer going to be supporting it. Now, for reference here, I have the receipts. So this is from Mark Rubin, the executive producer on XDefiant at Ubisoft in San Francisco. So this is what Mark says on October 15th, 2024, not even 2 months ago. To be crystal clear, there are no plans to shut down after Season 4. I've literally been in meetings as of last week to discuss our Year 2 plans. But right now we are super focused on improving the technical experience, which includes netcode, and adding more content for Seasons 3 and 4. We have done very little marketing, so yes, our numbers are down, but that is just to give the team the time to get the game in a better place before we do bigger spends on marketing to bring new players to the game, and to bring back players that have left. So Mark, to be crystal clear, there were no plans to shut down after Season 4. Well, today's news begs to differ. So here's the announcement right from Ubisoft's website, dated December 3rd, not even 2 months after Mark's statements. Today I wanted to share with you that we've made a difficult decision to discontinue development on XDefiant. Despite an encouraging start, the team's passionate work, and a committed fanbase, we've not been able to attract and retain enough players in the long run to compete at the level we aim for in the very demanding free-to-play FPS market. As a result, the game is too far away from reaching the results required to enable further significant investment, and we are announcing that we will be sunsetting it. Now, for those of you currently playing and enjoying XDefiant, it appears the servers will remain open until June 3rd, 2025, and then the game is, I guess, officially dead. And interestingly here on top of that, they say developing games as a service experiences remains a pillar of our strategy, and we've achieved significant successes like Rainbow Six, The Crew, and For Honor. The Crew, that's a very interesting game for Ubisoft to mention. Here we are. Anyways, before I start ranting about that stuff, I'll stop myself there, and there are people who are impacted. So they say here Ubisoft will be closing their San Francisco and Osaka production studios and ramping down their Sydney production site. 143 people departing in San Francisco, and 134 people likely to depart in Osaka and Sydney. That is quite a bit. Now let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. I think talks of Ubisoft having to sell will heat up significantly after this announcement. I mean, they're already heating up, and this is just going to add fuel to the fire in my opinion. And speaking about sales, next up here we're quickly talking about the SuperSega and the whole controversy surrounding Sega potentially coming after them. Now, Video Game Esoterica recently put out a very interesting video that I took a look at, and I do recommend checking it out. Again, link is in the description below. Video Game Esoterica comes out with a couple of possible scenarios that he thinks are true, and well, they may hold some weight here. So Video Game Esoterica speculates that they called the company SuperSega to try to entice Sega to shut the project down, to give them an excuse to shut down the project without really releasing anything, or to be able to lie about Sega telling them to shut the project down so they don't have to release anything, basically to take the money and run. The video game itself is chock full of very interesting takes here, and I do recommend checking it out. I mean, Video Game Esoterica even talks about the PCB potentially not even doing anything either, just being a pass-through. I mean, I think this is the beginning of the end for SuperSega. I don't want to say the beginning of the end. I think the writing has been on the wall for this project for a while, and we'll have to see what happens with it moving forward. But I would be shocked if they actually released a working project here, especially after everything I've seen. I said project, I meant to say product. Anyways, here, let me know your thoughts about SuperSega in the comments below. Next up here, if you like fighting games, this one's a quick one and a nice little update. It's about EVO Japan. And EVO Japan has just unveiled its lineup here for May 9th to 11th in 2025. So anyways, for the main games, we've got Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, Guilty Gear Strive, King of Fighters 15, Street Fighter 6, and Tekken 8. And for 5-on-5 competition, they've got Street Fighter 3 Third Strike and Virtua Fighter 5 Revo, which hasn't even been released yet. I am very curious about this one. I'm a big fan of watching fighting games. I'm a big fan of playing fighting games. If you like fighting games, let me know in the comments below here. I mean, the community itself is not the biggest, but at the same time here, the fighting game community, in my opinion, is continually growing. And last up here, we're talking about a very interesting report that came out from Medea Research about gamers. It turns out that gamers spend more time watching videos about gaming than actually gaming. I'm not joking with you. Again, link to everything I talk about is in the description below. So apparently here, gamers typically spend 7.4 hours a week gaming and 8.5 hours a week watching gaming videos. I'm not joking with you. So I'm curious to hear that from you. Do you spend more time watching videos about gaming, whether it's YouTube or Twitch or something like that, or do you spend more time gaming? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. I apologize if the audio was a little bit off today. It's extremely windy. I'm trying to find areas that are not windy in order to record, and I'm failing pretty miserably. Anyways, we talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state.